So here is the iPhone 7 Plus. Or is it? Okay, this is the iPhone 7 Plus, and all lookalike jokes aside, the new iPhone is here, and the big question is it worth the upgrade? First, let's run through the design changes on the left-hand side. Nothing's changed. On the right-hand side, nothing's changed. Woo, doing so well so far. Moving on down below, we have, of course, the bottom of the phone where the indeed headphone jack, oh, the beloved headphone jack, is now officially gone. No real new news there, but it does make way to a perfectly symmetrical bottom of the new iPhone. You have a fake left speaker grill on the left, you have a middle lightning port, and on the right we have another speaker grill. Now you heard me, I said fake speaker grill. Apple did promise us stereo speakers, but they're not both on the bottom. The other one is actually in the receiver of the phone, which is why it's wider. Another tip here is the receiver is indeed wider, so if you have any existing screen protectors for a 6 or 6S, those will not be able to be transferred onto the new 7. Speaking of the stereo speakers, they are insanely loud. They sound very, very good. This is my first time having any sort of front speaker, and I've noticed that when I cover one or the other up, the receiver speaker handles more of the higher end part of the music and sound, and the bottom right side speaker handles a lot of the lows, but you can actually hear the pretty much full range if you cover one up. It does get very loud. It doesn't distort too poorly when you get all the way up in max volume, but it's still not going to replace any killer Bluetooth speakers or any extra sound system, but it's great for the phone. Moving on to the home button, well, I don't know if I can say home button anymore because it's actually solid state just like the Force Touch trackpad on the latest MacBook and MacBook Pros. It's also just like if you have a OnePlus 3, it basically is a home button that just gives you a haptic feedback when you press it, but isn't actually mechanically moving. It's one less moving part that can break, so it's actually a pretty cool thing. When setting up the phone, you also get 3 different pressure sensitivity levels that you can choose from. I'm rocking a 2 right now because the 3 vibrated the entire phone and my hand didn't really feel that good, and the 1 felt like pretty much nothing. So 2 for me was right in the middle. 3, I probably exaggerated a bit. It's not that terrible, but a little more haptic feedback than I personally enjoy. It definitely takes some getting used to the new home button though, and not pressing down constantly, especially when waking up the phone. I'm a person who woke up my phone by the home button and not the power button, and now I found myself kind of switching. If I don't want to fully unlock the phone, it's kind of hard to do now, so keep that in mind. On the Plus model, you will of course notice dual cameras, but there's a little sneakiness going on here that they didn't really mention on stage. You have a wide angle and a telephoto lens, which take fantastic pictures, by the way. I'll get more into that in a moment, but I wanted to point out that they are actually 2 different sensor sizes and optics. The wide angle is a 1.8 aperture with optical image stabilization, and with the 56mm telephoto lens, you get a 2.8 aperture and no optical image stabilization. So this means if you are shooting low light pictures or taking video that may be shaky because of your hands, you may want to stick to that wide angle lens because you will notice a pretty significant difference, especially in low light photography. But if you get in good lighting situation, it is a fantastic feature to have since it's not cropping in. The pictures look great, they're vibrant, they're sharp, again in good lighting situations, and it's very nice to have the 2 different focal lengths. I'm not that disappointed about it, but it was kind of a little sneaky of you, Apple. Overall though, photos look amazing, especially on the much brighter, 25% brighter display of the iPhone with a wider color gamut. You can view the all natural color reproduction that is iPhone photography. It looks very good, and I am very happy. Not to mention, you can take advantage of RAW images using third-party software. There is no RAW setting in the main camera app that I found, nor is it in the settings. The phone obviously ships with iOS 10, which is a very nice software update in my opinion that just came out a couple days ago. On the 7 and 7 Plus, it is extremely snappy, but the Plus version actually has an upgraded 3 gigs of RAM, while the 7 still has 2 gigs. I don't know if there's a huge amount of difference. I haven't played with the 7 much myself, but 3 gigs of RAM is definitely nice, and within all benchmarks that we've seen online, it has destroyed every single other phone on the current market, including my 12.9-inch iPad Pro, getting into laptop territory like a MacBook Air. Just insane. Definitely subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see the comparison videos that I'll be releasing the next couple of days, comparing the 6S Plus and the 7 Plus, as well as I'll probably throw in the OnePlus 3 just for a little mixing in there. And finally, let's attack the elephant in the room here and talk about that headphone jack that Apple did so remove. It's obviously not any new type of news now, but a lot of people ask me, what do I think about it? And what I think about it is the fact that I 100% agree with it. No, I haven't been scheming against the headphone jack for the past 10 years. If they kept it, would I have cared? Not really. But I am completely in favor of nixing old technology, out with the old, in with the new, because I'm a firm believer in new technology is pretty much always going to be better. Not to mention, when these rumors started, not only did Apple nix the headphone jack, but it forced, or inspired, I should say, manufacturers from Android to do the same in a lot of phones. So a lot of headphone jacks have been removed from many other devices than just Apple. It really shows you the influence Apple has in the tech industry itself. In terms of the headphone jack though, get Bluetooth headphones, the earpods that come in the box. I actually could hear a difference between the old earpods that use the auxiliary port and the new lightning enabled ones, which are digital compared to analog. It sounded like there was a lot more depth to it. I'm not going to get super into it, nor will I be offended if there's any audiophiles out there who tell me I'm completely wrong, because I am not trying to say that I'm an audiophile or a professional or expert in any way. In my testing, that is totally unscientific. They sounded a lot better. And it sounded like there was more depth, but if not, it comes with the adapter. If you lose it, it's $10. It's not really too much to complain about. But here's the truth about the headphone jack and iPhone in general. Every year or almost so, Apple comes out with something, or removes something I should say, that people get all fussy about, and they grab their pitchforks and march to the Apple store to complain. But the thing is, within that year, it becomes the norm and everyone stops complaining about it. The same exact thing happened to the CD drives and the Macs a couple years back, and now it's like, well, of course there's no CD drive. I don't use CDs anymore. The same exact thing is going to happen with headphones. For the time being, yes, we have to use dongles and adapters, but within the next year or two, it will force headphone manufacturers to create better, cheaper headphones now that the demand for wireless headphones is going to be on the rise. So I see it as a very good thing. It's going to push technology forward, and to me, that is the truth about the iPhone 7. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see a lot more comparisons, definitely hit that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see from the iPhone 7 Plus that I have in videos to come. Appreciate you guys very much. Thanks so much, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. If you guys missed the fact that I didn't show you the unboxing of the iPhone 7 Plus, head over to my buddy Anmar AJ's channel, who has a killer unboxing video for you. Go check him out, link in the description.